Hi everyone, it's Tina. I'm on to another tag. Alright, so this is my milk and cookie tags. I think this is perfect for Santa tags. Milk and cookies, how cute. Okay, so I'm going to show you on my Gypsy how I went about doing it. Alright, so the cookie that I used for this is from my kitchen. But the cookie, the button that you push for the cookie, I guess cookies, would give you these two. And I don't want this one. So on the hide button is this button right here where it's got a large triangle or L shape and a small L shape. This is the one that you're going to push. First this has to be blue, and then you have to push that, and the whole image will come up. If it's red and you hit hide, it will take away. So I want the gingerbread man to go away. So I'm going to hit hide, and then I'm done, because I want all the little spots to cut out. So I'm going to cut the shadow in a dark color, like a chocolate color, and then I'm going to cut this one out as a with the holes so that it looks like the chocolate chips are sticking through. If you want to see what it looks like after you've taken away the images that you've hidden, if you just touch, yes, the eyeball will show you what you're going to be cutting. It's going to do that on the screen even if you don't hit that eyeball. But if you are finding that all of these little, this one's simple, this is just one straight line, but sometimes there's lots of nicks and cuts, and if you only want to take out some of them, then to be able to see what you're doing, you hit the eyeball and it'll take away anything that's not a blue line. Okay, so that's just one tip when you're doing the hide button. Now I've cut this out and I'm going to show you how to piece it together. The only milk carton I could find was this one, and it comes with an apple and a glass with a straw, and I only wanted the carton so I could show that it's milk. So I hid these two items, but on this one I couldn't cut it out. So let me show you. Oops, wrong button. See how these lines are sort of integrated? What I did was I hid this line and this line. You could even take that one out if you wanted, and this line and that line. So I took those nicks out because I'm going to show you how I'll do this one. I'm going to end up cutting out this entire image, but I'll show you. I want you to think about when you see an image, don't be panicked that it's got other things in the picture. I want to show you how you can incorporate them into just being a solo item, but you have to be a little bit more think outside the box, because not all images come simply as one image. Sometimes there's multiple images and you have to finagle it a little bit just to come up with a simpler version. Let me show you. So here's the image that cut out. But what I'm going to do is, following the line of the milk carton, is take my cutting blade, just lay it down there and cut it off. And I'll show you in a second how you can sort of imagine what the image would be like. I'll show you, hang on. Okay, so that's the two sides of your milk carton. Then basically you just snip off. This one is straight, so straight across, and this one's on an angle. It's really quite simple. And now you've cut both bits of the other things off. You don't need them. And then once I've put my label onto the carton, I have just done inking around the edges in order to get that shape that I want. I've used one of my Copic pens to color on where the lines are, because that's the way one of those boxes goes. Your container, your milk container. Then what I did was I took a piece of scrap paper and I put it here and I inked across the top so it gives it a shadow of where it bends. It's just a little added extra just to make it look more real and three-dimensional. And inked around the edges just to give it a distressed look. And that was the tag for, or the milk carton tag. Now for the cookie tag, let me just put this aside. And my cookie is gone. I don't know where I put it. Here it is. Okay, so here's my cutout that I've done. That one. And one of the things that I decided to use, I don't know if everybody's seen this or not, but I've had these for so long. Well, this one of course has, they're Marvy markers. This one has a price tag across the whole name, but the Marvy markers. And it's a puffy paint. I can't remember what it's called. Applique, liquid applique, I think it's called. Anyways, this one's the chocolate brown. And if you put it, see, I used all these little spots where the chocolate would show through, and then I thought, oh, I want it to be richer. So what I did was I just squeezed it into each one of the holes, and I thought they looked more like a melted chocolate chip. But if you heat set this, it will puff up and be like a marshmallow, and it's fluffy and it's a light brown. Excuse me. So if you're going to do it, don't heat set it, because it will puff up and not be the color that you want. It will look more like a toasted marshmallow. So if you're using something like this, now you could probably, I have no idea what kind of paints that they have out there. If there's a shiny brown one, there could very well be. I haven't got it. In the stickles, they're too sparkly, but I don't know. They may make a puffy paint that's just a brown color. Anyways, I'm just telling you, with this type, if you heat it, it will puff up. So if you put this together, which I'm going to punch these out and then glue them on. Okay, ready for a new blade. What was I complaining? Oh, I have a new mat, but I think it might be time for a new blade because it's catching almost every corner. And after I did this, I thought, well, you know what? I don't know that I need to put these little holes. You could do it without the puffy paint and just do the dark chocolate underneath, and it would look perfectly good. I think I just had it here, so I thought I'd use it. But it looks just as good like this. But I inked around the edges of this, and when I glued it on, I basically just glued around the edges. It's really not that difficult. This one's a pretty no-brainer. Stick it on, punch your hole, and you are ready to go. I love working with my Cricut and my Gypsy. I do. It's my favorite tool in the whole room. Love it. I won't put on the liquid applique because it will take far too long to dry while I'm on camera. And just punch the side, and to and from is so simple. I've been using my to and from, these little stamps from Michaels. They're really small, but they work really well. I have seen it done, but it gives it a bit too much space for what I'm doing right now. But they take the letters, they line them all up. Right? They line them all up into the word that they want to create. And the funny thing was, they put an elastic band around them, and then they used them as a stamp. I thought that was such an ingenious way of doing it. But that was the simple tag using your Cricut to cut out a shaped tag. So I hope you like this, and I will get busy and start making the next one. See you in a bit. Bye.